I want personalization.
I want to know what problem of mine you're going to solve, and are you going to make our commercial team more successful?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Enablement Brew. I am Carly Lehner.
And I'm Melvina Alsaik, and we're so excited you're joining us for yet another episode. And today we are joined by Michael Wilcox. So, Michael, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. Thank you for having me today. I'm really excited to chat with you guys. I'm a senior director, mid-market sales. I'm an AE over at Seismic. Been working with Seismic since I guess February, coming from the Lessonly end. So I was part of the acquisition last fall and came over and from that great company and learning more about Seismic and more about the team and the company and really enjoying my time there and really happy to be there.
Awesome. So, before we dive in, question we always ask, what is everyone drinking? Michael, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I've got my blue Yeti mug here. Not sure if you can see it because the virtual backgrounds, but big fan. It's 5 a.m. here, so got a nice big cup of coffee for myself right now.
Nice. Carly.
We got these fun new mugs.
Yes, we did.
So I'm drinking tea today. Tea was just some sugar and some almond milk. So yeah. Malvina,
Very
you have coffee?
Yes, I have a coffee with oat milk. I discovered my new favorite brand of oat milk, which is Moma. Have you heard of them? Moma oat milk.
No.
So good. Delicious, creamy, doesn't curdle, none of this stuff. But I want to give a shout out to Sean from Lego who sent us these really pretty mugs. So, Sean, if you're listening and tuning in, thank you so much. They're going to be on every episode now.
They are. I mean, I think we've made it, Malvina. We have branded mugs for our little podcast. So,
Now we need
um,
some Lego, I guess, to come on, right? On the Enablement
yes,
Brew.
they'll be our next guest. But so Michael, so yeah, tell us a little bit about your journey. So you said that you were at Lessonly, and obviously Seismic acquired Lessonly, which I think was a huge acquisition for them. So tell us a little bit about that experience of transitioning from Lessonly to Seismic, how that integration is going. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. I don't have much to compare it against. I've never been a part of an acquisition before, so it's been a journey. It's been fun. I joined Lessonly at the beginning of 2021, so I was just learning the ropes over there, and learning everything Lessonly and really enjoying the culture that we had built over there. Do better work was and is a mantra that we still live by, even through the acquisition. And I think that in itself really has made the acquisition process so enjoyable. Seismic decided to invest in Lessonly because we were so dedicated to doing better work. And so the merging of those teams, the merging of the culture, and then just the natural progression to combine two tools together to create, the enablement cloud that we've created now. And it really all only made sense. And so from the top down, it sort of has made sense from the IC level on up. Again, it's been not without its challenges, as any acquisition is want to have. But we're really looking forward to a bright future and really excited to be in this space as well, because it's an exciting space to be in, and it's an exciting space to be a leader in too.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so I have to ask you, biggest competitor for Seismic, is it still Google Drive, which I'm sure comes up a lot in conversation, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course it does. I mean, Google's an awesome product. I mean, a lot of I use Google personally. I have my own Google personal Gmail address, right? Google's a Seismic client, so I wouldn't say that Google's a competitor. Google's actually a very great complement to Seismic. A lot of folks will come to us with a Google solution that they've built. Very proud of what they've built as well, and they should be, because it's very difficult to manually build something in a Google Drive for something like content management, right? And we can just take that and enhance what they've built and really just level up the program and the foundation that has been created from there. So no, I wouldn't say that Google is a big competitor. I would say if anything, that's actually great news when people come to us talking about how they use Google and they love to do it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually am super curious about how you guys kind of position this because I've been speaking to like new enablement managers or people starting an enablement function, and they always ask like, why do I need content management? Like I have a SharePoint or I've built like my own intranet with Google Drive or whatever. And like I obviously have my responses of why I as an enablement appreciate an enablement platform. But how do you guys kind of overcome that?
Yeah, for me, it's all about visibility, really. Again, it's about visibility and efficiency. So again, Google is a great product to manually build something, but you don't know what's being used, where it's being used, how it's being used, how it's being responded to. You don't know if reps are accessing old material, outdated branding, whatever it might be. As you know, putting on my marketing hat, you don't know if the story being told out in the field is consistent at all with the content that you have loaded into your Google Drive, right? And so, visibility into that, but then efficiency to find all that content. You need your reps to be able to focus on revenue generating activity and not spending all their time just trying to find that right slide, that one slide that they know that they saw that one time that they think would be perfect to help in this conversation. You don't want them spending 30 minutes trying to find that one
Mm.
slide. You want them to find that right away.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think always when it comes to like content management solutions, it's always enablement and marketing who have like a vested interest because we want people, reps to use new content, right? If there was a recent rebrand, we want them to be using the latest collateral. Marketing also wants to have visibility of, hey, the stuff that we're producing, is it actually being used? Like, are people looking at it, right? That can become obviously very tricky if you're just attaching a PDF to an email because you kind of sent it, off it goes. You don't really know if it's being looked at or consumed. When you engage in sales conversations, do you begin with enablement? Do you start with marketing? What does that typical process for you guys look like?
Yeah, I mean, both, I suppose, is the answer. It's difficult to say because both are essential to the conversation and are essential to the success of an enablement program. And it's not just marketing and enablement; it's also ops, it's also management, because everybody needs to be aligned in the best path forward for the enablement program because it touches all of those areas, right? Marketing, of course, wants their content used. Management wants to hit their number. Reps want to be able to have efficient conversations and to meet their buyers where they are. And ops want people to use the CRM. They want analytics. They want to know what they're doing is actually working and that it's actually efficient, right? And so in conversations, we try to uncover all of those things and loop in all of those folks, right? So probably starting with enablement is the best path forward. But if someone's putting their hand up and they're from marketing, we'll start with marketing as well. And then
But
we'll
you
chat with
definitely want
enablement in our next conversation.
and you definitely want enablement on your side, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the term is there, the enablement cloud, enablement leaders. Of course we do, right? It would only be natural. But if you think about the word enable, it's just giving the ability to do something, right? That is the capacity of the job, and that is the capacity of what we do as a company, what we seek to try to solve with our partners as a company, right? We want to give you the capacity, give your reps the capacity to be able to do something, which is their jobs at a very good clip. You are the enablement leaders, so we want to be able to talk to you and help them do their jobs well.
Yeah, absolutely. When you start off your conversations, right, when you reach out to someone for the very first time, what is the pitch? I think we already spoke a little bit about this, right? We mentioned, visibility, transparency, having the resources that you need. And obviously for enablement leaders, we want to enable everyone to have that. But what does that pitch sound like? Is
Mm-hmm.
it centralizing your content in one place? Is it gaining that visibility of how that content is consumed? Are there multiple different elements to it? What is it?
I think it's about building exceptional experiences. for everyone, from your reps to your buyers and kind of everyone in between. It's exceptionally difficult to build an exceptional experience these days, from more decision makers and touch points throughout conversation to an increasing preference to digital interaction. So, just like higher expectations for go-to-market teams to be incredibly intelligent in their industry and product, right? The challenges are felt across the board. And so to address those challenges, you need enablement. And to get enablement right, or rather the cost of not getting enablement right, is that your clients disengage and your reps leave and you're just not going to hit your revenue number, right? And so to fix all that, you need enablement. And so the pitch there is to really just rising tide lifts all boats, enable reps to be productive faster, meet customers where they are, or rather prospects where they are on LinkedIn, in social channels, across the life cycle, right? And then to arm technology to continuously improve and adapt and to win there, right? The pitch for Seismic is that we've been a content management leader for years, with content automation and personalization, analytics, intelligence, things of that nature, right? The enablement cloud that we've just built and created with the combination of Lessonly and Live Social and tools of that nature, builds on that strength, right? We centralize learning and coaching, seller content sharing, digital sales rooms, and client interaction, really all in one location, creating that enablement cloud.
Awesome.
So Michael, how often do you run into, prospecting into organizations where they maybe don't have enablement, and are you partnering with them to build an enablement function? Or tell me a little bit about that process, because enablement, especially a couple years ago, was really starting to see a big boom. And I feel like a lot of companies have enablement now, but I'm still amazed at how many reach out to Malvina and myself, and they're like, I'm just going to start my first enablement team, help me. And I feel like a lot of the enablement platforms in the space are really helping pave the way in the industry, which is fantastic. So tell us a little bit about how you guys work with other companies to do that.
Yeah, it's introducing the idea of enablement. I think that most people have a general sense that we need training, we need something, we need to enable people. Back to that root definition of enable, we need to give them the source, give them the means to do something, right? And I think that most sales and marketing leaders understand that just taking a Google Drive and just dumping it on someone's desk and saying go nuts is not the best approach and not the most efficient way to train, to learn, and to see success. The next step to that is, okay, then what does that look like? And that's what we're here for. Whether it's Seismic or another solution, just generally speaking, this is what enablement is kind of across the industry. You need a place where your content's going to be, and you need visibility into how that content is being used and if it's working or not. You need a place where your reps are going to learn, and that that they know what they need to know to sell and to be successful and to move on in their career and to be certified and things of that nature, right? And then you need to turn around and have analytics to then prove to the higher ups, the board, and all of those folks that what we've invested in to, lift our enablement team, to give our enablement a facelift, is actually working, right? And so, when those conversations happen, of course, it depends on the nature of the conversation. They can tend to be a little bit longer because it's a change management thing at that point. It is educating on education inside of your company, and really just aligning with, okay, what are the challenges you're experiencing now, and what's your vision? This is what our experience has been in building out the enablement function over years and being an industry leader in this, and how can we deliver products from our enablement cloud to really create a program that's going to be effective for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Carly and I guess we're lucky, right? Because in our previous episode, we were speaking to a competitor of yours. And one of the questions that we raised to them is look, how do you differentiate yourself from all those different solutions that are out there? And it was interesting because the response was, well, the fact that there's so many competitors in this space, and I mean, I see it daily, like there's new ones popping up, smaller ones that maybe cater to smaller types of companies or go after a slightly different ICP. But the main kind of takeaway was there's so many competitors in this space, but that in our eyes is almost a good thing because it heightens how important this actually is, right? And there are loads of different competitors in this space. How would you say that Seismic is unique from the big players out there and the smaller players that are constantly popping up?
Yeah, I mean, well, competition breeds ingenuity, right? And I think that's a really good thing. That's a great thing for this space too. Enablement is crucial and is going to be continue to be crucial, right? So competition's great. You know, at the end of the day, they're all great solutions. I did see that episode, great episode.
Did his homework.
Yeah, of course I did. I'm a sales guy. And I could go into feature selling, and Seismic's got all sorts of great features, and we do, and we do have what I believe to be the higher quality enterprise grade functionality and software and things of that nature, right? But I go back to the exceptional experiences piece that I was talking about earlier, and I think that's where Seismic really does differentiate there in delivering exceptional experiences. And I don't mean just in your experience in working with the sales team, pre-sales and post-sales. We are turning around and investing a lot of money in our post-sales experience, in our account management, in CX, to make sure that the enablement ecosystems we build for our partners are successful, and that those folks are happy, right? But then even within the platform, the exceptional experiences there, from governance to our enhanced content management, to things like live docs, to make rep workflow a lot more efficient, and to give marketing the peace of mind that they're using the proper branding on the content that they're creating within their content management system. Everybody within Seismic is going to have an exceptional experience that's going to make their lives a lot better and their work lives a lot easier. Again, both in working with the technology, but also in just consulting with us in a pre-sales motion, understanding what exactly they need as a solution for enablement, whether it's Seismic or not. And then in a post-sales motion, really an exceptional experience in how we're investing and focusing on ensuring success for all of our partners.
Yeah.
I love
And I think
that.
yeah, I love that as well. And I think actually Seismic has taken a little bit of a shift, right? Because I remember, even a few years
Earthquake pun there.
no, in the sense that in the past, I think I always associated Seismic with it's only for the big boys out there. It's only for the big companies. It's only for the enterprise. Like you wouldn't look at Seismic if you have, 150, 200 employees, right? Seismic is for those big organizations. Is that a shift that, obviously was deliberate, but is that also something that you're seeing that now you're engaging also with maybe smaller companies more on the scale up side of things as well?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's certainly something that Seismic has heard in the past. We as less than the employees learned that as we were coming in and becoming Seismic employees. And I think that was a very fair assessment too. Yeah, Seismic, we have well, I wouldn't say rejiggered, with Seismic Pro Edition and different sort of motions with the product. Yeah, the motion of working with smaller organizations and not so much the big boys, kind of repainting that picture, is something that we are focused on, because I wouldn't say it's a fair representation to say that Seismic doesn't scale to where you're at. Seismic is purpose built to be able to scale and meet you where your needs are, right? It's not so much the Porsche that you need to do A to B driving. It's going to be the car that's appropriate for the route that you need to travel down. And again, that exceptional experience that you're going to have in the pre-sales motion, our sort of consultative nature of how we sell. We strive to sort of right size and match where you are and meet you where you are with our products, and things like a Seismic Pro Edition are purpose built to right size and to match organizations with where they are.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think what you guys are doing, your like major competitors are doing with the enablement space has been really exciting to see over the past couple of years, and what some of what you were talking about with your investment in CX and really making sure that the customer experience is really great. My advice to people is always like go with the provider that you feel like is going to be the best partner to you long term, right? Because we have to continue to innovate in enablement. And so go with the partner that you think is going to help you do that and achieve that in your organization. So it's nice to hear that you guys recognize that maybe we were seen as an enterprise solution, but how can we work with companies big and small to scale, over time? So I think that's a really good um, pivot, shift, seismic shift that you guys did. What other fun puns can we throw in there? But yeah, I think that's excellent that you guys have kind of recognized that and moved in that direction.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that again, things like the investment in Lessonly, the investment prior to Lessonly in a tool called Live Social for those social sellers out there and the marketers out there, and really just listening to prospect and client feedback informs what we do in the future, and making that focus on ensuring that what we're trying to sell um, is going to be used and is going to be valuable to whoever we're talking to, whether it's a 20-person company or a 20,000-person company. You know, want to make sure that what we're talking about is actually the appropriate thing to talk about with those folks.
And I heard you say live social, I think 3 times now. So I'm going to ask, what is live social?
Yeah, I didn't mean to to feature drop or anything like that.
Now you piqued my interest. I want to know.
Live Social, it's a fantastic tool. It's a social selling tool that your social sellers can use to post to LinkedIn and Twitter and different social channels, and basically tracks your posts, engagements on them, using AI tools to help write posts, and engage on posts there. And you can do that through your Seismic instance. And so, when marketing has a new campaign or a new story to tell, they can create content and posts to suggest to your reps, and your reps can go in and schedule out their social media posts for the entire week on this new brand story or the new feature or whatever that they might be selling. Track those responses, and then have social conversations through Live Social, and be able to really sort of meet your seller again where they are.
Nice. Love that. And everyone is on social now, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
everyone wants to interact on
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
absolutely. That's something
Yeah.
that we always are like, hey guys, post this on LinkedIn. But if there's a tool to help you facilitate that, that's super interesting. So very nice. Well, Michael, thank you so much for joining us on the Enablement Brew. It was so much fun to have you. It's really nice to hear about what Seismic's doing, especially the Lessonly and Live Social acquisitions. But I hope you enjoyed your time. We definitely loved having you.
Yeah, really enjoyed being on. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. For everyone listening, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon for a brand new episode. Bye bye.